guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a Disney video for you today. It is almost that time of year again, and if you follow Disney, you might know what I'm talking about. The Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival runs from August 31st to November 13th, 2017. So I thought it would be fun to share some 10 tips for food and wine. Last year I shared 10 tips for Mickey's, or was it the beginning of this year? I can't remember. I shared 10 tips for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, so I'll put a link to that video up there. And I was ready to do this video after we got back from our trip, but we were there on it might have finished the week after we got back, but I just was what's the point in putting it up for something that's not going to be of use for another X many months. So now I'm just ahead of the curve, but I've been waiting to film this video for a very long time. So I've been to Food and Wine twice. I went in 2011 and 2016. But it's one of my favorite times of year. I just love seeing Epcot busy like that. So I'll kind of I guess tell put little excerpts of my experiences in with the tips, and the tips are in no particular order, but I'm just gonna grab this first. But I definitely wanted to share. So if you don't know what Food and Wine is, basically it's a festival that happens in World Showcase. So there's semi-permanent booths that they set up, and they're all different countries around the world, not just the countries in World Showcase. There's different ones as well. So they'll have certain food and drinks that you can purchase, and it's little sample sizes, so you can kind of taste your way around the world, and it's delicious. And yeah, okay. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, get a passport. This is a passport from last year. So it just says Food and Wine Festival on it. And then inside it has all of the things that are available to sample and some pictures of them. And then there's stickers, so you can, if you've checked off a country, you can put the sticker there. But definitely get a passport. It's really handy to have to not have to walk around to the different signs, and you can just see what all of the options are for the whole festival here. It shows something else that I'll talk about more, but it's definitely really helpful to have, and I'm pretty sure you can get it at any of the booths. They'll all probably have them, but it's very handy. Next, know what you want to try. So using the passport, you can go through and put little stars beside things that you want to try. If you get this, even if you just run and get it, and if you're at Epcot in the morning, and then figure it out, because there are a ton of options, and I remember last year looking before the trip, because you can find them online. I'll link, I think it was Disney Food Blog has all of the options for this year, so I'll link that in the coordinating blog post that I will link down below. So I remember making a mental note of it, but to actually get the passport and highlight or put a little star, just so you know what you want to prioritize and make sure that you try, because time goes quickly, and then all of a sudden you're oh, I missed that and I wanted to try that. Next, if you are international, take a picture of your passport. We kind of learned this the hard way, but it was at our resort, so it was okay. We were staying at the Polynesian, and we wanted to go to Trader Sam's, and me, Ethan, my fiance, and his brother are all over 21, but we didn't have, we just had our magic bands. We didn't have our ID on us, and so we couldn't get into Trader Sam's. So Ethan ran back, but they said that if you take a picture of your passport, that basically counts. So I personally don't want to be carrying my passport around the parks. I like to keep it in the safe in the room, so I know that it's fine. So that's what we did, and it worked fine. So definitely make a point to do that, just make sure you delete the picture just in case anybody gets your phone, so personal information and all that stuff. But you'll be able to get alcohol and everything using that. I guess your mileage may vary, but from our experience, that worked for us. And I remember the first, what year was it? It was like the first time that I could drink in a Disney park, and I went to get a margarita from Mexico, and I just had my Canadian driver's license, and they were like, we'll give it to you this time, but like you need to have your passport with you, which it was like the day we were leaving, so it didn't really matter. But I guess the picture is probably a newer thing, because that would have been maybe 2013. But I was like, that's silly, but this makes much more sense, so definitely try that if you need to. Next, avoid the Food and Wine Festival on weekends. I think this was the mistake that my mom and I made when we went in 2011. It was crazy. Like, the crowds, like walking through World Showcase, you could not see open space. It was just heads. And I guess like we didn't think it was going to be that popular or something. Like, we didn't do very much there because it was so busy. Last year we went on a Tuesday afternoon and it was fine. We also went on a Friday. We did like a morning in Epcot up until like lunchtime, and then we walked through International Gateway, and then we had like a late lunch reservation at Beaches and Cream. And like when we were walking around Epcot, like you could feel the difference in the crowd, like it just getting busier and busier on weekends, because all the locals, like if I was local, I'd go to that all the time. So they're gonna come, so I guess just like try to, if like Disney, you need to plan in advance, so plan in advance to avoid Food and Wine on weekends, unless you're okay dealing with crazy crowds. Next, there are small gift cards that come on like a cord that you can put on your wrist. Food and Wine can add up really fast. The items can be anywhere from like $3 to $10 depending on what it is. And if you're wanting to sample a lot, like that adds up really quickly. So if you want to like make sure that you only spend so much money, either keep that amount of cash or put it on a Disney gift card so you have to stop when you use all the money. That's definitely something that I would do. I haven't done that yet because we were on the dining plan last time, which I'll talk more about below. But definitely like go into it knowing that you're probably going to spend a little bit of money, because you want to try a lot, and especially like alcohol can add up really quickly. That's kind of a way to kind of control it a little bit, and like that's the kind of downside of the Magic Band. It's like, here, take my money, here, take my money, here, take my money, here, take my money, and then you get the bill at the end of your trip and you're like, why did I spend so much money? So there's a tip for you. Next, spend multiple days at Epcot. And between Monday to Thursday if you can. Like I said, we did a day and a half. Right now Hollywood Studios is a bit of a mess, so we kind of took that day. We did like more days at Magic Kingdom and Epcot than Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. But I think it worked really well for us, and like especially with fast passes in Epcot because of the tiered levels. Like we had one fast pass for Soarin' Around the World one day, and then one fast pass for Frozen Ever After the other day, so we could do that as well. And we were still at Epcot in the early afternoon on the Friday, so we could still taste like whatever we had missed the day before, and then go out International Gateway. Excuse me. Number 7, the booths open at 11 a.m. Like World Showcase opens at 11 a.m. Right now, like Norway is open earlier, but the actual Food and Wine booths won't be open then. But like if you're like ready to go, you're gonna deal with a lot lower lines. On the Friday that we did the half day, we were like making our way, like we knew to start, and we were hitting the booths that were near like Imagination, like as you are going into into World Showcase, like we were hitting those ones at the right time that there was like no line and it was perfect. So just like be aware of that and take advantage of it. Number 8, there are like tons of other offerings at Food and Wine. They have the Eat to the Beat concert series, which like I've seen Boys to Men there. Like they have in your passport all of the guests at the front, like all of the dates and all of the people that are going to be there. So you can kind of know in advance. They do have dining packages available, so basically you make a reservation at a specific restaurant, and with that you're paying a little bit more because you're getting reserved seating for the concerts. Otherwise, especially if it's somebody that's really popular, like you're gonna need to line up way in advance. I think Boys to Men, I remember there being a really long line, and we didn't do the Eat to the Beat concert series the last time because we had dinner reservation. We wanted dinner reservations so we had enough time to get a spot for Illuminations and to do other stuff that like it just kind of ruled it out. But there's a lot, like take advantage of it. It's like a free concert and like they're pretty good bands. There are also seminars and like tastings and stuff. They have professional chefs come in, like Buddy the Cake Boss and Paula Deen, and all those people have been there. There's also like the Remy's Hide and Squeak Challenge. I'm not completely sure if it's happening again this year. I'll put it like in here if I can find that. So basically you pay like $5 or whatever and you get a map, and there were little Remy statues around World Showcase that you had to find all of them, and then when you found all of them you got a special pin or something. We saw a couple of them, but we didn't participate in the challenge. But yeah, like there's tons to do at the Food and Wine Festival. I think there's even, so there's like the festival center is open from 9 a.m. till park closing. It has like all these different things. Like this is gold. Just it has everything you need to know. So definitely pick one of those up. Number 9, if you are on the Disney dining plan, be very smart about how you use your snack credits. So there are things that are $3 and there are things that are like $7 to $8 to $9. So if I'm using a snack credit, I'm going to use it for the like $7, $8, $9 thing versus paying $3.25 out of my pocket to have both. So like the lobster roll was more expensive. I think there's like probably some like steak things that I would need, but you can definitely like be smart about it. And if you are on the dining plan, save your credits for Food and Wine if it's something that you want to do. Because like ice cream and other things that are snack credits aren't that expensive, but you can really get a lot of bang for your buck at Food and Wine. And last but not least, booths are everywhere. Like every year they're adding more and more booths. So they used to just be in World Showcase, and now they're kind of in between World Showcase and Future World, and now they're gonna take over Epcot. So don't forget to, like, it's not just in World Showcase, make sure to hit all of the other booths. And then last but not least, I thought I would share some of the things that I sampled last year, and then I'll let you know if it's available this year. So at the Chew Collective, and they do change the names of the booths too, so just because it's not at the same booth like doesn't mean that it's not somewhere. So I didn't write down what the names have changed to, but if you have your passport you'll be able to find it. So at the Chew Collective booth, these are the booths from last year. I tried the ricotta and zucchini ravioli, which was very good, and the peanut butter and white chocolate mousse, which was also good. At the refreshment port, Ethan got a cronut, and we had just gotten churros from Mexico. The cronut was so much better. Go for the cronut. It's available all year round, but like, get it because it's really good. From Mexico, we had the shrimp taco, which was really good. I think it had like a chipotle mayo, so there was a little bit of heat to it, but it wasn't too bad. At the Hops and Barley, which is like near the American Adventure, we had the lobster roll and the carrot cake, both of which are returning this year. Also the ricotta and zucchini ravioli is returning, and the cronut's always available. And the last thing we tried was the hummus fries from Morocco, which is available again this year. That was my favorite thing. I was like so intrigued by that. I saw it like before we went, and I was like, how are they gonna, like, what is a hummus fry? Like, hummus is not solid. How, what? And then we got it, and I was like, huh, it was really good. So if you want to try something vegetarian, try that, because it was really good. I wish I was going to Food and Wine this year. I'm not, so I'm just going to have to live vicariously through other people who are experiencing it. But if you have been or are going, let me know what your tips are in the comments down below and what you want to try this year or your favorite thing that you have had at Food and Wine ever. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. And subscribe for more, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.